lesson from employability skill. Let me start by introducing myself. My name is Dolly Chatterjee and I am an instructor for the employability skill at the ITI College, MVITI, West Bengal. Today the topic that I have taken up for you is occupational safety and health. Wherever we go, whatever the work that we do, there are a certain amount of hazard that is attached to that occupation. So what do we mean? The first when you want to know about occupational safety and health, you should ask two questions. That is what and why. What is occupational health and why should we know about it? And the first thing is that what is occupational safety and health? Now occupational safety and health mainly deals with not only the health and safety of the worker, that is the employee, but also the co-workers, the family members and the community around, all the health and safety of all those people, those who are directly or indirectly associated with the employee. Now why should we be knowing about occupational safety and health? It is because that it is for we need to work, but not only working, staying safe and keeping everybody safe is also very important. And as we know that a healthy body and a healthy mind is more productive and more efficient. So if we can keep our workers healthy, if the workers can keep the associated people healthy and safe, in that case the overall productivity as well as the efficiency of the not only the individual but of the total team and the organization improves. Now what do we mean by workplace safety? In occupational health and safety we basically are dealing with workplace safety. Now what do we mean by workplace safety? Workplace safety is how can we be safe at our workplace. Now what does that mean? That means that it is here the occupier or the employer, that is the owner of any organization, any institution, that person has to comply with the legal directions that is given. So what is occupational safety? What occupational safety here, the occupier, that is the owner of any organization, any factory or any manufacturing unit, the occupier and the owner, he or she or the group has to comply with the legal directions that are provided by the government or the body which deals with this legal directions. And here the responsibility is not only to keep the workers safe, but also to make the environment adaptable for the workers to be in a safe working place. Now here it is not the sole responsibility, workplace safety is not the sole responsibility of the occupier or the employer. The employee or the worker himself, the individual himself is also equally important. How? The worker has the moral responsibility to follow all the safety norms that are provided to us. In this COVID-19 situation, we are hearing a lot about PPE, that is the personal protective equipment. Now here we have seen that various shops, various units, various occupier, they provide with all the PPE that are needed in our industry. May it be the helmet, we will surely discuss about it later, but may it be the helmet or the gloves. But not only providing these are essential, but also using this. So it becomes a moral responsibility of the worker to use them as and when required and the way they are they should be used. They are instructed, they are given all the instructions about it. Now when we come to safety, now why safety? Safety leads to health. Why? Because safety leads to better health. Not only the physical health but also the mental health of the worker. Now what happens is, what about occupational health? Now every set of work, whatever kind of work we do, it could be a sitting work. These jobs are about sitting all day, and they also come with all their I should say side effects. That is a lot of musculoskeletal disorders that comes along with it. And then there are many such works which comes with all the hazards. That is, every work has a number of hazards that are related or that are associated with that kind of work. So what we have to do is, when we say occupational health, occupational health is when the worker is fully aware of the hazards that comes along with the occupation. That is, the worker is exposed to certain hazards which they will be fully aware, and they will know how to prevent them at their workplace. So that is what we mean by occupational health. And when I say occupational health, here I have provided with some of the dimensions of wellness, where we can see that not only the occupational health, what is important is the social health also, the emotional, the spiritual, the intellectual, physical, environmental and financial. Now everything is related. So occupational health does not mean that there is certain kind of hazards and I have to protect myself from that hazard. It is not that. Occupation, when we are safe, when we feel safe at our workplace, we feel our morals go high, and we feel stable, we feel emotionally stable, and and that increases our productivity. Now moving on to occupational health, there is something that I would like to mention, that is the WHO and the ILO, that is the the International Labour Organization and the World Health Organization Committee on Occupational Health in 1995. They have come up with 3 different objectives, and what they focus on? They focus on the maintenance and production of workers' health and working capacity. That is, while the worker is on his work, how can we give him the best so that the worker remains in good health? Now what should we do about his good health? It is the occupier there can be an improvement of working environment and the work to become conducive to the safety and health. That is, the tools, the working environment, the working station that are provided to the worker should be such that they are conducive for a better health. That is, they could be, should I say that they could be ergonomically designed, which we find nowadays, most of them we find ergonomically designed. And the last point that the joint ILO and WHO has come up with is the development of work organization and work culture that supports health and safety at work. So work culture, which initially nowadays we find work culture, pretty good work culture, which initially people lacked of, and there was a lack of awareness, and nowadays there are awareness program, there are mock safety drills, then there are that are provided by the employer and different organizations, even voluntarily they are provided, so that the workers can they get a working culture which is conducive to a healthy work culture. That is, they will, if they work according to what they have been taught, it is supervised, and from time to time they are upgraded. All that is, they are given proper awareness training, they are given proper mock drills, and they are given proper supervision is there, proper implementation is there. In that case, the occupational health, the level of the occupational health rises, as I told time and again, I am repeating that it improves the productivity and efficiency of the workplace, not only the worker but also the workplace. And in general, when we talk of workplace health, we have to know what the hazards are, and then only we can prevent us from those. Now what happens is the workplace health in general, the workplace hazards have been categorized into three basic categories, that is the chemical hazards. In this chemical hazards, the body inhales the toxins in the form of gases or fumes. There are many workplaces which deals with them. We will obviously discuss them later in a later class, in the next class maybe. And then the second category is the ergonomic hazards. Now we know that we have become very mechanical. We generally work with tools and we need a lot of tools to work with, and so what happens is every workplace, may it be the workstation, may it be the tools that we are handling, may it be the sitting areas where we are sitting, or the chairs that we are using, all that are ergonomically designed nowadays. So initially we had these ergonomic hazards which used to cause a lot of musculoskeletal disorders. So ergonomic hazard is one such hazard which again needs to be taken care of, otherwise it will challenge the health or safety of the worker. And then there are physical hazard, which I must say deals with the all the physical factors, that is the noise, the vibrations, the light, the temperature, the humidity, all this which also comes up with, which also brings down the efficiency of a worker. So these has to be taken care of, and all these we will be discussing in the next part of our maybe in the next class. Now moving on from there, we in the last part of this section I would like to tell all my students that prevention is always better than cure. When we talk of health, we generally see that everywhere it is told that prevention is better than cure. Now how is prevention better than cure? It is that after something happens, say an accident in the workplace, since there is a certain amount of hazard that is related or that is associated with any kind of work. Now if we say that after the accident happens, we generally think that, oh, I should have done this to prevent this. So not that we should be, it is better to be proactive than being reactive. I have told you, I have given you this, that it is better to be proactive than being reactive. Now what is proactive means? We visualize the worst case scenario, what could happen if we are not aware of something, what can happen if we don't use all the protective equipments that are given to us, what could happen if we don't follow the rules, or what could happen if we don't follow the rules. So what happens is to prevent all the accidents, we have to follow the rules. Now who makes the rules? All the rules means whatever the organization, whatever norms the organization has set up for, and they have set up all these rules in accordance with the legal directives that they have got. Now if we say a healthy workplace, why am I saying it prevention is better than cure? Because a healthy workplace is where we can find the occupational health and safety has been taken care of, and there are many there are proper supervisions and proper implementations of all the rules and regulations. Then there is voluntary health practices, they are practiced by the workers themselves, and that brings about an organizational culture which is a safe culture. And here it is not the responsibility of, we can see that it is not the responsibility of a single person, that is the workers are not responsible for the workplace health and safety, the employers alone are not responsible for the health and safety, but all together. Generally here we can see in this diagram, we can see that the role of the employer, trade union and employees, that is from time to time there can be discussions that can be made with the employee, what they feel or they find about the occupational safety and health, as well as the trade unions who act as the liaison between the employee and the employer, and all three together, because they have, all of them have to together or unitedly, they have to think about the organization, they have to think about each other and the organization and the complete productivity of the team, the complete efficiency of the team. So finally, we see that the role of the employer, trade unions and employees, it is not the sole responsibility of either the employee or the employer or the trade union or the government to think about the health and safety of the worker. It is a teamwork which has to be done by all of them, that is the employer, the trade union and the employee, all have to follow, all have to do their own bit, so that overall they have a safe and they have a safe place, safe workplace and a safe work culture, so that they can find them in a good occupational health, and so that the overall the team grows and their efficiency and productivity improves. So that is all for today. Thank you, class.